Keeping it real, who that sports pod? Legendary Coach Rock, Dog 17. Let's rock. Who that? Boss kick, black and gold. Let's go. First and goal from the one. Best believe we go punch. Punching in, hit them punch. With them Saints, watch us march. Down the field, down your throat. Keeping it real, who that sports? Breaking news, interviews, open lines just for you. Call in, join in. Who that nation? How you doing? Come on in. Take a seat. Sit back. Relax. Put your feet up. Grab a drink. And let's talk Saint football. Y'all know what time it is. Time to keep it real. Family, family, family. The doors are now open. So come on in. What's going on, family? This is the Keep It Real Who That Sports podcast. I'm your host, Dolph Jackson, and it is brought to you by the Come On In Sports Network. Shout out to all my dads out there, man. Hope you guys are enjoying your day, man. You deserve it, my brothers. Hey, we finally get our day. We get the big plate, get the big piece of chicken. We get breakfast in the morning. I'm just saying, man. Should be 40 day every day. But anyway, man, shout out to everybody out there, man. I see you coming on in the building, baby. All right, let's see who's coming on in right now. Uh-oh, he's in the building. Uncle Jerry, how you doing? Come on in. That's right, Jerry, man. Before I go any further, man, before we go any further today, man, let's send a big, let's send all our well wishes, man, to my big brother, my co-host of this show, the legendary Coach Rock. For those of you who don't know, Coach had to step away for a minute. He's got some health issues that he's dealing with that he has to get right. And we're praying for Coach. And there's no doubt in my mind that Coach will be back during the season, eating that oatmeal, man, and delivering only like Coach can. So happy Father's Day to my brother, Coach Rock, to all my brothers on the Come On In Sports Network, to each and every single family member out there, to everyone. Happy Father's Day from your boy, Dolph. Let's get into it, baby. Who else is in the building today? Samuel, how you doing? Samuel, come on in. I'm doing good. Happy Father's Day to you, my brother. All right, family. Shout out to everybody on X. Keeping it real and Come On In Sports. Thank you all for being here, baby. Listen, so what are we going to do today? Today, man, let's talk about Chase Young. We're going to talk about Chase Young. But before I go, man, let me shout out the Come On In Sports Network, which is home to real fan sports, uneducated sports talk, Atlanta Falcons Fandemic, Come On In Bills, the Hit Zone, and the Keeping It Real Who That Sports podcast. So shout out to all my brothers on all their platforms. Today's show can be found on YouTube, X, and Facebook. With that being said, family, let me also say, do us a favor. Hit that like button, share, and if you feel like it, if it moves you to, hit us with a super chat so your message can get top priority. Well, anyway, family, Segment one, we're going to talk about Chase Young. When he signed last season, it was simple. It was a 1 year prove-it deal. After he signed, we all found out that he was dealing with an injury to his neck that would require surgery. The Saints were comfortable enough to go ahead after their doctors examined Chase Young to sign him to that 1 year prove-it deal. Coming into the season last year, expectations for Chase Young were high. Many of us saw that raw talent that came out of Ohio State, the number 2 overall pick, one of the best prospects to come out in that draft. Has Chase Young been a disappointment in his career? He did win Rookie of the Year, but some may say he has because his sack total has yet to eclipse 7.5 in any season. His first season with the Saints last year, he had 5.5 sacks. Not the kind of numbers that will move you to get excited about a player. That's if you're just looking at Chase Young's performance like a horse with blinders on. You have to see the total impact a player has on the game. Last year, Chase had his moments. He had his splash plays last year. This year, what can we expect from Chase Young? What do we need to see from Chase Young? We're going to get into a little bit of all of that. But from Washington's wild expectations to him finally landing in New Orleans, Chase Young brought the heat to the dome. And who that nation, we felt it. Now, numbers never lie. Chase Young, games played last year. Chase Young stats last year, he had 31 tackles. Let me make sure I got that. Let me get that up there for you, family. So we're going to look at Chase Young last year in the New Orleans Saints uniform. Man, when you're prepping for the show, everything goes right, man. Until it's time to go live. That's why it's called live, baby. You got to keep going, baby. You got to keep going. All right, family. Getting that up for you right now. Chase Young last year, I would say Chase Young did not disappoint. Now, again, that is unless you were looking for him to have a outrageous number of sacks, like many of us were expecting last year. Many of you were predicting, oh man, he's going to have 11, 12, 13 sacks. But it never came to that for Chase Young last year in the New Orleans Saints uniform. And for some reason, I keep over. But if you go to defense, maybe you'll find them, though. If you go to defense, maybe you'll find them, baby. All right, family. So last year, Chase Young, 31 total tackles, 5.5 sacks, 1 forced fumble. That was enough for the Saints to say, hey, you know what? We see enough. It's upside with this kid. He is an athletic freak. He fits what we are trying to do now this season. And new defensive coordinators, Brandon Staley's defense. He's the ideal 3-4 outside edge rusher that you will be looking for in that defense. In the defense, that Coach Staley is going to be running. Now, when we brought Chase in last, let me get this up there for you. So Chase Young last year again signed that 1 year fully guaranteed $13 million prove-it deal. And again, he proved it. Maybe not to some of you and Who That Nation, but he proved it to the most important people, those in the building on Airline Drive. The Saints rewarded Chase Young with a new 3-year, $51 million deal with incentives that pushes us up. If he hits all the incentives, that contract turns into actually a $57 million contract. They guaranteed him $33 million right out the gate. Chase Young just turned 26. Chase Young can possibly get 2 more contracts if he stays healthy. Some were upset that the Saints re-signed Chase Young. I don't know why. He's young. He has upside. He's shown potential. Now, there are areas in Chase Young's game, no doubt, that he has to improve on. We're not going to sit here and act like he's a finished product. He's nowhere close to being that finished product as of yet. Now, last year, Chase Young was top 15 when it came to pass rush win rate at a 13.7% clip last year. So we know that he got pressure on the quarterback. He was one of the top defenders in the league in pressuring the quarterback last year. But what happened when he pressured the quarterback? He was unable to finish many times. You have to finish. But at the same time, those pressures are important too. Because just because he didn't get the sack, maybe he made that quarterback get rid of that ball a tenth of a second before he wanted to. Maybe he flushed that quarterback into the waiting arms of a teammate, made that quarterback rush the throw, thus creating a turnover for the defense. So we have to look at the total picture when it comes to looking at Chase Young's performance from last year and where the Saints and who that nation would like to see him go, as well as himself. Now, the one area he must improve in next season, family, is his run defense. PFF had them ranked at a 55.4% success rate against the run last year. You got to be better. You got to get better. All right. Now, he might not have led the league in sacks, family, but Chase made quarterbacks feel him every single week. That we should be able to agree on. Each and every single week, despite what many of us think or thought, opposing offensive coordinators and quarterbacks, they knew that they had to account for Chase Young and his counterpart on the other end called Granison. And by the way, I am so excited to see how these two young bookends and Brandon Staley's defense will adapt to this defense. I don't think early in the season we will see their full upside and capabilities, but toward the middle of the season and the end of the season, I think these kids are going to be hitting their stride, and I think they're going to be one of the best, or have the opportunity to be one of the best pass rush duos in the National Football League. All right, who else in the building? All right, Samuel. Uncle Jerry says, appreciate the birthday wishes from Saturday. It was great from start to finish. That's right, it was Uncle Jerry's birthday yesterday. Jerry, what you turned yesterday? 44? Talk to, I think Jerry turned 44 yesterday, right? Or 41. Put in the chat. All right. Uncle Deuce, how you doing? Come on in. Happy 40th day to you, my brother. Let's see who's in there. Hurricane Mike's in the building. Mike, I see you in the back. I'm going to bring you on in a minute, my brother. I would tell you, you better not be no dad right now. You're too young to be a dad, boy. What's going on? Mike, what's going on, Mike? I'll bring you in a second, man. But happy Father's Day to your dad, man. For y'all who don't, man, you guys got to check out the Hurricane Mike show with him and Papa Mike, man. They do a great job over there, man. We got to support them, man. They're doing a great job, family. All right. Rose City, Rose, how you doing? Come on in. Rose in the building, baby. Who else is in the building? Corey Harris, how you doing? Happy Father's Day to you, my brother. Man, come on in. All right, man. That's right. Rose saying happy Father's Day to all the dads. And again, we send that out to all the proud papas around this world. All right, family. So again, let me get that back up there. That Chase Young deal. So here it is broken down against his new deal, 3 years, 51 million, 57 million included with incentives if he hits certain marks during the season, but 33 million guaranteed. So how does it break down salary wise this season? In 2025, he will earn a base salary of $1,170 and his signing bonus of $17 million. Now his cap hit of $6,842,000 and a dead cap of $36,294,000. That's in the third and final year of the deal. So Chase Young does have areas that he needs to work on. Again, we're not going to sit here and play like Chase Young is a finished product because he's not. So what are some areas that Chase needs to work on? All right. First of all, we're going to come back to that. Weakness to target. These are areas he needs to target this season. First up, run defense. Fundamentals. Footwork, gap discipline, run block shading techniques. Again, fundamentals against the run. Not just Chase, that entire defensive front. Brian Bresee needs run defense fundamentals. He needs to be working on that. Christian Boyd needs to be working on that. Devin Gacho needs to be working on that. Every single interior defensive lineman and defensive end, anybody up front on the defensive line, they need to be working on their run defense fundamentals. Plain and simple. Because for the last several years, the Saints have been horrible. We went for several years plus being one of the most stingy teams and allowing teams to rush for 100 yards as a team. Never mind giving up a 100-yard rusher. I think we set the record. No, we did set the record for that. But since that time, the Saints have been going backwards. And right now, that is an area that they must improve in. Now, so first thing Chase needs to improve in, his run defense fundamentals, his footwork, his gap discipline, his run blocking, shedding techniques. Now, tackle reliability. Chase missed 20% tackles the past 3 years. He's missed 20% of his tackles the last 3 years. He's got a 20% missed tackle rate the past 3 years. That's not good. We got to flip that around. Got to be more consistent. We heard when Chase was coming in last year, you had those who were saying they were questioning the young man's his motor. His motor. Did he go out each and every single play and give you his all, or did he take plays off? We heard all that. I didn't see that. I didn't see it. It wasn't noticeable to me. I don't know if it was to you, and you better bet your ass I was looking for it just like you were looking for it. I didn't notice it. Now, another area he must improve in. Consistency in finishing sacks. Again, one of the top pass rate, rush win rates and pressures, and he was one of the top in pressures this past season, but he only had 5.5 sacks. What does that mean? That means Chase got to finish. He has to get there this season, and he has to finish. Again, Chase's career best has been 7.5. Let's beat that 7.5 this year. Hey, if Chase goes out and he gets 9.5, 10 sacks this season with, let's say, 25 or more tackles for a loss, I would consider that a good season for Chase Young. In this game, if he gets 10 sacks, the other guy on the other side, Carl Granderson, he coming right behind him now. And then that opens up inside. That inside pass rush is going to be so important with Brian Bresee, Nathan Shepard, Colin Saunders, Christian Boyd. Jonah Williams is now on here, but Jonah Williams is more of a space eater up against that run. I just got a feeling that one of the veteran defensive linemen from last season would not be on the final 53-man roster when the Saints start this season. I ain't got no inside sources about nothing going on. It's just a feeling I got. And most importantly, which he did last year, he has to stay durable. He has to stay healthy. He has a neck and ACL injury, so staying injury-free for Chase Young would be vital, not only for him, but for the Saints, because the Saints now have invested heavily in Chase Young. And for those who were against the re-signing of Chase Young, who were the Saints going to go out there and get? Who? It's not like Chase Young came here and had a half a sack. Less than 5 tackles. It's not like that. I ain't even say the prayer name, y'all, because I say it every show, and like it's gonna be like I'm picking on him. That's because I'm disappointed. I got high expectations for him. You know. All right, let's see. There's some highlights of Chase. Let's see. Corey says he is not polished, but he can. Yes, yeah, Corey, exactly. No, he is not a finished product, but my God, is there. Would you have? If I tell you for a fact what would have happened if Chase Young would have walked out the building, and let's say the Saints wouldn't have re-signed Chase, or he chose to go somewhere else. Everyone would have been up and on. See, that's what I'm talking about. They should have kept him. He's a young talent. He had an upside. He had his plays. He would have. Look, he had 5.5 sacks. The same people complaining now would have been complaining that way. Because, again, you can't satisfy everybody. All right, Corey says he needs to finish his tackles. Right. 10 sacks. Yep, 10 sacks. I'm saying that's a realistic goal for the kid. 10 sacks. And listen, as you can see here, these are some of the plays he made last year. Chase Young, watch this against KC. Watch this. Here he's going to actually, I believe here he actually finished. Here he is against the Cowboy. Pass rush. Here he is against the run here, against the Eagle. By the way, I don't believe this is the game right here that totally changed the Saints season. This game here started the downward spiral. Now, it was a downward spiral because we had to deal with 7 straight weeks of misery, but it also was the beginning of the end of the Dennis Allen era. So I knew that just made everybody's day-to-day with me saying that. But again, there he is against Kansas City. Look at him. Watch this. So I get hand down. See, he finished. So again, the talent is there. The talent is there for Chase Young, family. He just has to do more of that. Finish, finish, finish. The kid's are athletic. He's an athletic freak. Now, he has speed. He uses speed and power. One thing I would like to see him work on this season will be his counter moves. You can't always just use speed and power. You got to come up with some finesse moves. You got to come up with that dip and rip, pull and drag. He has to come up with counter moves. When that power rush gets stopped, what you going to? When that speed rush gets stopped, what you going to? He has to develop his chest of his arsenal. He has to develop his arsenal of pass rush moves. And again, the kid just turned 26. And when this contract is up, he'll be 28 years old. And hopefully at that time, he would have became a perennial all-pro for us. And just we're able to re-sign him and get 4 more years of him. So shout out to my brother Cowboy. Atlanta Falcons pandemic is in the building, baby. Cowboy, how you doing? Come on in. All right. Now, rolling development goes this year for Chase Young. All right, hold on. Let me get Cowboys. My boy Cowboy start. Cowboy says, talent is definitely there for Chase. He needs to get more nasty. Stop playing patty cake with the offensive tackle like LT did. Oh man, no, that's hey, you go look at film of a player who was just nasty. Man, we look at the greatest pass rusher of all time, LT, the man that changed the game of football and made left tackles one of the most highest paid positions in football. All right, man. And again, happy Father's Day to you, my brother. All right. So Ned, here again. Let's check out some things. So 2025 role and development goals for Chase Young. First of all, continue developing counter moves off his speed and rush, which I was just speaking of. We know what he can do with his speed and power. That's there. Matter of fact, let's look at the video again. Get that up there for you. Again, speed and power is there. But again, as I stated a moment ago, when your initial move gets stopped by the offensive tackle, what are you going to do? Are you dead in the water? Do you just stay there pushing like a stalemate? Look at the athleticism right there. Recognize. I mean, listen, Chase Young's the kind of player that you won't get off your butts first. Again, what are you gonna do? That probably was one of his best pass rush of the season right there. Look at that. Watch that. Bam. And see, get them hands down. Bam. Again, as Cowboy said, the talent is definitely there for Chase Young. He got to become more consistent, must become more consistent. All right, now, what next thing up? Drill discipline to reduce missed tackles. We talked about it earlier. Fundamentals. With the new CBA, we know they don't practice. There are no more drill days. There are no helmets doing a lot of sessions in OTAs. And listen, I understand because safety is priority. As a coach, as an organization, you want to get your players to training camp, through training camp, and you want to go into the regular season pretty much as healthy as possible. Now, we know every team is not going to go into the season 100% healthy, but this team has been hit the last several years with so many key injuries in the off season. It's just ridiculous. So hopefully they get good fortune this year going into training camp. I love that Coach Moore canceled day 3 of mini camp. Great. Some people are complaining. Man, he canceled me. They need all the practice they can get. It's a common practice around the league of coaches canceling day 3 of mandatory mini camp and doing team activities or just getting the guys that day off so they can start their off time before the season, which is really not off time because these guys, they get up, they like a clock, they got their routine, they train, but they get to spend time with their family now. They get to travel with their family now because they know in 6 weeks they come in for training camp. It's all go, baby. It's all go through January. And if you're fortunate, if you shock the world, February, I'm putting it out there, baby. But you know, it's what? It's June. It's Father's Day. I can dream. We can dream. It's all right to dream, as long as you don't go too far. Damn, I think I went too far. But hey, it is what it is. Now, improve his run fit awareness and gap control. That's it. A lot of times he had problems. He didn't fit. So each player on each snap, defensive lineman has a certain gap, depending on the gap that they're going to attack. You know what I'm saying? He's going A gap, B gap. Understand? He had problems last year with his gap fit and controlling his gap. There were times he just got washed out. So that comes to what? Proper pad level. If you got poor pad level, football is simple. You always heard it. You heard it since Pee Wee football. Who wins up front? Low man normally wins. Low man wins in football up front. Low man and hands on first. If you allow these tackles to get their hands on you first, and you high, you dead in the water because they're too good. And I'm not even talking, that's not just the starters. If you give the third string that opportunity, he gonna look good against you. So he must improve his run fit awareness and gap control. And again, he must convert his pressure opportunities into more sacks and tackles for loss. We need more tackles for loss from Chase Young this season. Last year, how many tackles for loss he had last year? Let's see. Let me put it up. Tackles for loss. Total tackles. ESPN, you let me down right now, baby. Well, I want to say he had like 13 or something like that. If that, that might be being kind. I think it was in single digits. Forced fumbles, fumble recoveries, interception, yards, 7.5 sacks last season. Sack yards 17. I get it to you guys because I don't see it right now, family. But anyway, let's get back to what we're talking about right now. Again, convert pressure opportunities into more sacks and tackles for loss. We need that from Chase Young. Because right now, the Saints, again, have invested heavily in Chase Young. Real heavily. So, like I said, the Saints didn't just pay Chase Young for potential. They paid for production, and they're betting on more to come. Chase Young could be he could be the surprise player of the year, but I'm going to put it like this. Chase Young needs to be the breakout player of the year for the New Orleans Saints on the defensive side of the ball. Again, Saints done paid you for your potential. They paid for you for your production last year. Now they're betting on more to come and you putting it all together into becoming that special player that many people feel that you were capable of when you came out the University of Ohio State. Now, his strength, he has a high motor. He's an athletic freak. He has athleticism. And his pass rush technique is good, though again, he needs to work on that second and third move. You just can't count on speed and power consistently each and every time. You have to switch it up against these tackles in the Football League because they're so good. Weaknesses, his run defense and his tackle consistency. Again, too many times missing tackles. Got to fit better in his run gaps. Have to fit better in run gaps and control. He has to get better there. And again, missed tackles happen because of what? Pad level issues. I'm saying it again. Missed tackles happen because of pad level issues. Low man wins. But he is the ideal fit for Coach Brandon Staley's 3-4 system, which will be employed by the Saints this season. All right, family. Don, how you doing? Don says we have so many potential breakout players this year. It's true. You are absolutely right, Don. And happy Father's Day to you, my brother. Marlon Miles in the building. He coming to be a head. Man, who coming to be a head janitor, man? Who you talking about, Marlon? Happy Father's Day to you, my brother. Hold up. And Derek Allen, he in the building. Hey, how you doing? Man, come on in. Happy Father's Day to you, my brother. All right, family. So listen, we're going to bring on one of our family members. This young man has his own show. It's called Hurricane Mike with his father. and they do a great job. Again, we got to support this young brother. He does a great job, him and his father, man. So without further ado, we're gonna bring Hurricane Mike on, and we're gonna keep breaking it down. And we're gonna bring Mike on and get his thoughts with what he thought about the Saints re-signing Chase Young, how Chase Young performed last year, and what in areas he believes Chase Young needs to improve on. So Hurricane Mike, how you doing? Come on in. What's going on, Mike?
What up, y'all? Just fresh new air in the tank, right?
That's it. That is it.
Yeah.
So what's your thoughts so far on Chase Young, my brother?
So, well, when the Saints resigned, I'm back whenever free agency opened up. I was in a mix of it because I was like, okay, like during the season, right? The Saints not playing well over and over and over. So there's really not that many bright spots. You know, if you lose 7 straight games, there's not really that much bright spots. However, Chase Young, though, he kind of stuck out to me because, like, I don't really see him take any plays off, okay? Like, because, like, when the entire team, everybody was saying how they gave up on Dennis Allen, which that's probably true. I didn't really see Chase Young give up any big plays on the defense side of the ball. And also, if you go look back at it, most of those like big plays that he made was on a third down. Like that Eagles play that he showed, that play was on a 4th and 1. That was on a 4th and 1.5. And if they score in that half, we lost the game anyway. But if they scored on that half, then the game probably would have got out because then the Eagles would have got momentum. Even though it doesn't matter because we lost the game anyway. But the Eagles would have got momentum there. And the Chiefs play, that was on third down. Right? So, like, Chase Young makes so many plays when you got to get off the field. And that's what, like, I feel like that's the most underrated aspect of Chase Young's game. It's like, yeah, obviously you want to win first and second down because then, okay, you put them in long downs to go. But if you stop them on third down, if it ain't the fourth quarter and they got to score, they're most likely punting that ball. So you're going to get the ball back anyway. So I love what I saw out of Chase Young. And like you said, there's still some stuff he got to improve on. I feel like he still has to get between the gaps that, I think he still has to get between the gaps that his body, can take, right? I think he has to still, like, see if he can, like, because, like, he's an edge rusher. So I want to see him, like, fill the gaps more. I want to see him have better foot technique and all of the above. And I really like this man because a lot of people may forget this man just a few years ago won Defensive Rookie of the Year for crying out loud. This man, it's not like this man's always been a scrub and he just found a lightning in the bottle. This man literally he was the 2nd overall pick for crying out loud. So it's like Chase Young is a great talent to have. And 3 years, 30-some million. A lot of people say that's an overpay. I think it's getting your money's worth. So Chase Young, just keep playing well and, just keep pushing us to the highest level.
Right. And check this chart. Here we go. Weakness to target again. We really already said it, but again, durability, consistency in finishing sacks, tackle reliability, run defense fundamentals. Those are areas that we already were touched on with Chase Young that he needs to improve on. And it's not just coming from DOLPH, this coming from scouts around the league, people I've talked to. So those are the areas that Chase Young most definitely needs to get better at this season. Now, Chase Young in 2024, final pass rush win rate was 36%. So during his 1-year stint in New Orleans, he ranked 14 among qualifying edge rushers with a 13.7% pass rush win rate and 66 pressures. Again, what I said about pressures, yes, we want those pressures to turn into more sacks. But again, those pressures mean he was affecting the game. Again, maybe he gets the quarterback off his target move. He's in the backfield. He disrupts a run play. Maybe he doesn't make the play, the initial tackle on the play, but just by his pressure, his him being there, he forces the offense to go faster, to speed up, to go faster than they want to, and thus flushes either the quarterback or the running back into the waiting arms of teammates. So again, pressures are important, but I know why a lot of us were up and on about pressure. Don't give me no about pressure. It's still here, family. It's like this. It's like that damn nagging cough or virus that just won't go all the way away, man. It's that damn Marcus Davenport
Oh my God.
virus effect. All them damn pressures. But listen, like I said, this man at least had 5.5 sacks. Those 5.5 sacks that he had last year were more than Marcus Davenport, I believe, has had in 2 years with Minnesota. So I'm just saying, and like Cowboys saying, like we all know, the talent is there. The talent is there. Now we got a question. Had a question in the chat. Number one Saints fan says, can you please explain pad level issues? Okay, first of all, we got to know what are pad levels. What does that mean? I'm gonna share the screen with you, and we go learn this together, but so y'all get a better understanding of the pad level. All right, and let's go with that. Yes. All right, Phil. So before we jump into technique, let's break down. Let me get that on the screen. Let me get that. Hold on. There we go. And number one Saints fan. Thank you for being here, fam. Love you. All right, here we go. So before we jump into techniques, let's break down what pad level really means. Pad level refers to the height of a player's shoulders and pads relative to the ground. So if picture offense and defense alignment down their stance, the ball is snapped. If you're on defense and you have a tendency to stand up, when you come off the ball, that means your pad level goes up, away from the ground, correct? But if that in that offensive alignment, if he stays virtually level to the ground and comes off straight ahead and gets under your pads, he wins a lot of times. And that's what Chase Young had problems with. So essentially, a lower pad level means a lower center of gravity, which is fundamental for balance, power, and what? Control. Things that he had trouble with, controlling his gap. So why pad level matters? Leverage. The lower you are compared to your opponent, the better leverage you will have to push, block, or defend. I'm going to read that again. Leverage. The lower you are compared to your opponent, the better leverage you will have to push, block, or defend. Now, power. A low center of gravity allows you to harness more of your body's power into your movement. So again, the lower they are, you come off the ball, you're low, then your opponent, because think about it. When you stand straight, you're losing some of your power, your strength at that time. So the low center of gravity allows you to harness more of your body's power into your movements. Now, also balance and stability. Staying low helps you remain balanced and resist being knocked over. You know? Thank you. So that's what pad level means now. Techniques for staying low, number one Saints fan, and myself and Mike and everybody here. Your stance, 2-perm stand, 3-perm stand. This is what we try to coach our young kids on with their stance. You got to get that stance right. That butt can't be too high, it can't be too low. You want that back kind of be straight like iron bowl. Your stance is the foundation of maintaining a low pad level. Here are key points to ensure a solid stance. Feet placement. First thing you teach your young kids, first thing you teach your offensive linemen, feet shoulder width apart. So you come up to the line, just stomp your feet, just pick left feet up, right foot, and boom, your shoulder should be shoulder width apart. You should be good. Hips, your hips should be slightly above knee level. This helps in maintaining a low profile, slightly above knee level, not bending forward, not bending back, but just a little bit above your knee level. Now your back, keep your back flat and slightly arched. Avoid bending at the waist. Again, let's read that again. Thanks. This is the offensive lineman down. Matter of fact, let me put a picture up there for you so you can see. All right, let's use this picture here. All right, so there you see, right. So you see the stance. The defensive linemen, offensive linemen, now they're in their stance. Now, if you're looking at Kansas City, for those who don't know, if you're looking at the Chiefs right now, the tackles, the two out tackles, the two that are basically, it looks like they're standing up, they're in a two-punch stand. The center and the two guards, they're in a three-punch stand. What makes it a two-punch stand? What makes it a three-punch stand? It's a two-punch stand. Why? Because what? Where their hands are not on the ground. Okay? Their hand is not on the ground. They're on their feet. They're bent over. Not the part of their elbows is resting on their thighs, but this here, like their forearm is resting on their inner thigh. Now, the guards in the center, because he is called a three-punch stand, 2 feet, and he has the ball in his hand. The two guards, they're down, and their hand is in the dirt. One hand, that's a 3. It would be a 4-punch stand if what on the defense, as I believe that's even Carlin Saunders on the nose there, as you can see, and Chase Young on the outside. Chase Young is they're in a 4-punch stand. Carl Granderson, as you see on the edge right there, he's on the 2-punch. He's in the 2-punch stance. Double D, Demario Davis, he's in the 2-punch stance. So those are the difference there. Now let's go back to the explanation. Let me get this out the way. All right. So again, feet placement, hips, and back. Now, footwork fundamentals. Proper footwork is essential in keeping your pad level low throughout the play. And it says incorporate these drills to refine your footwork. And this is what the pros do. And if you coach your sons and they're playing offensive line, or you're a Pop Warner coach, these are things to work on. Kick slide for pass protection. Ensure you're moving backwards with shoulder square. A lot of time in Pop Warner, I coach 7, 8-year-olds, so we really don't pass that much. So I would think be majorly what? Run blocking. All right. Now, chop and drop. Rapidly move your feet in place, maintaining low pads and ready to drive forward. Mirror drill. Pair up with a teammate and follow their movement while staying low. Basically, you'll have one player lined up in front of the other. And what we like to do, we like to have the offensive lineman on the first rep, because we do 3 reps, but on the very first rep, put his hand behind his back, bend at the waist in 2-punch stance, and just mirror the movement of the defensive player. Left, right, no matter where he's going, he's got to slide those feet without crossing his feet. So those are some drills that we run. Now, blocking technique, pass protection, and this is something to watch for when you watch your games. That's why when you hear scouts and GMs and coaches say that he has a strong, he's heavy-handed, he has a very good punch. They're talking about his initial strike. That initial strike by the offensive lineman to halt that oncoming defensive end, a defensive tackle. So it starts with a quick foreign punch to the defensive player's chest. This disrupts their momentum. Again, bam. So they come, bam, it slows them down for a moment. Hand placement. Aim for inside hand placement on your opponent's pads, giving you control. Inside, right under the breastplate of his pads, that's where you want to get your hands at there. Now, hip engagement. Engage your hips by pushing them slightly forward while maintaining knee bend. This keeps your power concentrated and low. These are areas that Trevor Penning struggles in. He got a little better last year, but early on, in his career, these were areas that he mightily struggled in. He will get he'd get overly overextended in it in times last year too. If he got beat, if you go and you look at it, a lot of times he got overextended his knees. He had too much of a bend. And so it was, and listen, the defense, they used this rip and pull move, rip and pull. If you're off balance, leaning too far, rip, pull, and they get around you. That's what happened to Trevor Penning at times last season. So I hope that helps you, number one Saints fan. I know it helped me again, and I hope it helps everybody to understand about pad levels, run blocking, pass blocking. And now we know, hey, that punch, that joke, you want to get that defender, that joke. Let me see. Rose says, will Tay move around depending on defense and call? He's going to be playing that star role. From all indications, he's going to be lining up everywhere. He's going to be that jack of all trades on D. He's going to be inside. He's going to be blitzing. He's going to be in the box. Sometimes he may even go back to the on the outside. So this is going to be a big year for Alontae Taylor, not only to solidify himself as one of the building blocks going forward and of now in the future for the Saints, but this is the final year of his contract. He was not a first-round pick. There's no fifth-year option. So he's playing for a contract next year. If not in New Orleans, somewhere else. So a big year for him. Rose says, quarterback, running back, also want to see who's going to be the other side of Kool-Aid. Will Tay be on outside and move inside? Tay's going to be on the inside. He's going to be that nickel. So, again, it comes down to I got him. The kid, the young man, Riley, the kid we got, young cornerback, we got from Louisville. And my favorite, my dog horse to make this team again. It's Peyton. I love Peyton. I'm telling you, the kid can play. I'm telling you, I expect that kid to get significant playing time, if not for the Saints, for another team this year and next year. I'm telling you, if he had to start, let's say a month for me at Conda, I really wouldn't be too concerned from what I've seen. Now, it's the NFL. Everybody gets a ball caught on him. Great as Deion Sanders was, he was locked down, but hey, balls got completed against him. But you gotta have another dog. You gotta have a dog going against a dog. You know what I mean. You can't put no scrub against no dog, and that dog will eat. You know what I'm saying? All right, and you're welcome, number one Saints fan, no problem. Don says, who do you think wins QB1? Right now, from OTAs, mini camps, heading into this break, it seems as it's Spencer Rattler's had the better all season so far, but that's to be expected with the experience he received last season. Tyler Shook, of course, is gonna. He's had it's not like he's been out there sucking. I'm not saying he's been good too. He's had his moments too, but there are times that it's been reported you can see that he is thinking a little bit. He's holding on to the ball a little too long. Mike, what's your thoughts about that question?
All right, so my thoughts about the QB battle between Chuck and Spencer Rattler, I think it's going to be a process. We probably won't even know until mini camp, and we probably won't even know till the preseason's over. However, if I had to give a guess, I would probably lean towards Tyler Shuck because, look, I love Spencer Rattler, okay? I loved him since the Saints drafted him. Even before the draft, I was saying he's the dark horse quarterback. However, Tyler Shuck, or the thing that irks me about Spencer Rattler is that, I don't know, and some people have even analysts, not just me, some people have caught on, and some people showed me the light as well. When he throws the ball to the middle of the field, he throws it like way too high. All right,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the problem. That's the main problem I have with Rattler, is that he, whenever he tries to throw the ball to the middle of the field, he panics and he throws the ball too high. Okay, so that's what that if he can get that under control, I think he can compete for the starting job. And I still think even if he doesn't, he's still obviously competing for the starting job. However, the
Right.
reason also I'm going with Chuck, it's not just because Kellen Moore's the guy that drafted him. It's because Chuck has, like, I feel like Chuck has more upside than Rattler. You know what I'm saying? Like Rattler,
Mm-hmm.
he has upside, but Chuck, like, played a lot of seasons at college ball. So like he has the experience going through ups and downs, especially with the injuries and stuff. So I think, and plus Tyler Shuck, right? He wants to prove himself, just like Spencer Rattler, right?
Right.
And Shuck is the rookie, okay? So if they want to play Rattler, I won't be mad at it. However, also another thing, Tyler Shuck has been looking impressive as well in training camp
Yes.
and
Yes, yeah.
mini camp, and like I think he's already building connection with Olave and Shaheed, so that's another reason why I got Tyler Shuck winning this battle.
Got you. Got you. And someone was asking about let's see. I believe it was Don. Someone was asking about the possibility of the Saints signing Kool-Aid McKinstry.
Oh,
talking about Asante Samuel.
Asante.
Rose said he wants to see who will be on the other side of Kool-Aid with tape. All right, we already talked that one. Oh, yeah, it was Rose. Rose was asking, do you see Asante in the black and go after he checks out, or does some other team swoop in on him? Well, he's been in for a visit. Believe he's had other visits too, so we know that there's mutual interest between the team and himself. And why wouldn't it be? He had some of his best statistically seasons with Brandon Staley. So I'm sure the Saints will be in the market for him. Now, the thing is, when he is given the all go and clear sign, who comes a knocking besides the Saints? And price. We gotta talk about price. How much are the Saints willing to pay for Asante Samuel? How much is he going to be looking for? With him coming off this injury, this surgery, right now, I don't see a team giving him a multi-year contract. I think he signed somewhere with a 1-year prove-it deal. And kind of like what happened last year with Chase Young. I kind of see that happening with Asante Samuel Jr. Now, when we look at the available free agents still available, let's see who's still available. Share the screen. Let's look at some of the best available right now. Of course, at the top of the list, there he is. Let me get that up there for you. At the top of the list is Asante Samuel Jr. And of course, everyone right now, the Packers let Jair Alexander go. If the Saints will be foolish not to call and inquire about him and try to get him in the building.
Absolutely.
He ain't signed with nobody yet. But hey, Kool-Aid McKinstry, Jair Alexander outside, Alante Taylor, huh? Ike got him. I'm saying that ain't bad. Now the starting three, you good. Experience in Ike and Ike, you got Peyton, you got the young man from Louisville, Mike.
Quincy Riley.
Quincy Riley, who I'm high on. I think the potential still. We go see when training camp starts. The thing for young players is the speed of the game. The speed of the game. And that playbook, man. You gotta know that playbook. When your numbers call and you get out there, you got to know that playbook. You have to know what you're doing. Also, Rasul Douglas, I believe, is still out there. Mike Hilton, Shaquille Griffin, Arthur Millette, Emmanuel Mosley, James Bradbury, Jack Jones is still out there. So signing so far, you got Colton Davis, Byron Murphy, that Reese Cost Paulson Devo went to New York.
Oh.
DJ Reed signed with the Lions. So Dante Jackson is with the Chargers. Dante Jackson signed a 1-year deal with the Commanders. So you see the Saints sign Ike Yadam down there to a 3-year, $9 million contract. So, I mean, you still got Caleb, the kid up on Farley, who I was high on coming out, man. And we know the tragedy that young man has had to deal in real life off the field, man. So he's still out there also. So still some credible and talent out there, but don't look for a lot of guys to sign until training camp starts, when they see exactly what teams have and what they need, and put yourself in the place of a player. You're going to look for an opportunity, first of all, that you can go to and have an opportunity to play and possibly win that position. And second of all, have success. You want to win. I mean, you want to win. You want to go to the playoffs. You want to have an opportunity to play, to go to the conference championship game and ultimately the Super Bowl. So you're going to look at all those things. All right.
Yes, absolutely.
Atlanta Falcons fan, David, shout out to my brother Cowboy, say Jai Alexander for me has availability issues and injuries. Got you. I mean, but he's still, I think that's maybe one of the reasons why the Packers decided to move on. They couldn't trade him. At first, that's something I never understood. When you know that a team is going to basically have to release a player, why would you trade for that player? Now, that the one thing I kind of answered my own question is, so you can make sure he's in your building. But at the same time, I want to make sure he is in my building. I'm not trying to give you what you want for him. I'm not trying to make it sweet for you on both ends. No, I'm trying to get him for as cheap of a price as I can, because, hey, look, you got to get rid of him. Now, all you can say is, well, look, we'll just let him go. Okay. And we'll take our chances at him then. Don says he ran a 4.6. I think Shuck's issues will get better with experience. Spencer's more polished because of him playing last year. Yeah. And yes, Tyler Shuck is not slow now. That's 4.6. He ran a 4.6. He's an athlete, and he can throw off every platform level. Again, my thing is, man, shout out to the great Mike DeTillier, who we had on 2 weeks ago. Is his his throwing from the pocket, man. Like Mike said, every quarterback throws off their back foot, but he has tendency to do it where there's no pressure. When there's no pressure, sometimes he has tendency to do it. He has to become better throwing the ball intermediate and over the middle. Deep throws, outs, he's fine. He does that well. And he has to get that clock in his head and understand when the play is over. It's all right to throw the ball out of bounds. Hell, I'd rather a sack than a turnover.
Yeah.
I'd rather a punt than a turnover any day. That's just me. Let's see. JLB, how you doing? Come on in. Let's see. Rose says 3 former QBs on the team that are on the coaching staff to coach these boys are right. Yes, they're both solid. They are. But then again, if you're a young quarterback, young in this run, it would definitely help if you had a veteran that you can confide in. If you had a veteran when you have that tough day of practice, or you have that tough preseason game, if you had a veteran quarterback whose ear you can borrow, who's there to help you, and then, hey, we all had those days. Let's break down this film on the flight back home. This is what you should have did here. This is what you should have did there. I was in such a position, and I know I did similar to what you did today. Here's how I rectified it, or here's a player that I used to be teammates with, and this is how they would rectify themselves and do different. So it's that, because though you have 2-3 former coordinators that are coaches, the thing is, in certain situations, as you heard many who cover the team say on their platforms, how comfortable would you be going to your coach when you having a difficult moment? As you know, like, especially if the coach is like pretty much told you more than once, like, hey, clean this up, you gotta do it, and you don't do it. So I mean, hey coach, I just don't get it. I just don't understand what you're saying. You see what I'm saying? So I mean, it's a give and take. It's a give and take. It's a give and take, family.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see what else we got here. I got next question is I'm all for adding veteran QB. Yeah, I'm not against it. And I agree, if Winston gets cut, bring him in. Why? Why Winston? I knew, and I'm saying that don't look at it from our standpoint as fans, but let's look at it logically from a coaching standpoint view. Does Jameis Winston fit into what Kellen Moore wants to do? Think about that. Does Jameis Winston fit into what Kellen Moore wants to do? I'm sure he would love to have a quarterback, a veteran quarterback who has been with him before, come in, who knows the system, knows kind of what he wants, to relay that to his young quarterbacks. I think that's the type of player he would go after instead of Jameis Winston. And I don't think the Johnson cutting Jameis Winston. He's going to be the backup. He's going to be the backup.
They signed him for 2 years anyway.
Yeah, they signed him for 2 years. He's going to be there. Let me see. Cowboys say there's a cone on that list that you guys should at least look at. He still produced and always gave us Falcons headache. Who you talking about, Cowboy? I agree. Truth be told, Winston has been able to adapt and pull out wins. I understand that, but again, it depends on the fit, though. Does he fit what this current New Orleans Saints staff needs and wants out of veteran quarterback? We know what we're going to get out of Jameis. You know you're going to get leadership in the locker room. You know you're going to get the ultimate teammate. You know you're going to get the ultimate player who's involved in the community. And we know on the field, if he has to go in, it feasts the family. That's just what it is. It feasts the family. Either he on or he off. And it just like that. He's a gunslinger. So that would be my only thing to that. Let's see what else we got. Let's see. So just to recap what we talked about today, we talked about Chase Young, how he performed last year, the areas we would like to see him improve in, areas he needs to improve in. And before we go out of here, fam, I got a question for you. Let me get me and Mike out the way right quick. Mike, we are on the way, bro. Hold on, Mike. Get up. We still in the way, Mike. Mike, we still in the way. Mike, we still in the way. We're still in the way, Mike. Mike, we still in the... Mike, how about we just let's take our ass off. There we go.
Okay.
There you go. Let's take our ass off. All right, family. In the chat, answer this question. Where did Chase Young rank last year in overall pressure rankings? Was he number 32, number 21, number 28, or number 7? Put it in the chat right now, and we're going to leave it up there and see what answers we get.
I already know the answer.
And while we're waiting for you guys to respond to that, Cowboy says, what you just said is exactly what you would want in a veteran quarterback. Exactly. I understand that. All that. You're right. All that. But again, it comes down to what? The fit. The fit for that coaching staff, for that coach's offensive scheme. All right, Cowboy, Atlanta Falcons fan, Demi is he says 21. Okay. All right, I need some more votes, baby. Got 25 of us in here. We thank you for being here. This is the Keeping It Real Who That Sports podcast presented by the Come On In Sports Network. I'm your host, DOLPH Jackson. Again, happy Father's Day to each and every single father out there. Hope you're enjoying today's show. I'm here with my special co-host today, Hurricane Mike. Mike is in the building. Mike's just posted his thought. Mike is going to say number 7. All right, I need 3 more responses before I reveal the answer. And I know a lot of y'all cheat right now. You're going to look it up. All right, JLB says number 28. Okay, JLB, maybe. I don't know. Samuel said, let's see, Samuel said
32.
Okay, Samuel says he was 32. Okay. Samuel 32, JLB 28, Mike says 7. Atlanta Falcons pandemic says 21. I need some more. Ro, give me your vote, Ro. Jerry, I need your vote. Don, I need your vote. Let's go, baby. Get it in. Number 1 Saint fan, I need your vote. Derek L, Corey Harris, I need your votes, brothers. Marley Mall, I need your vote. Let's get it in, fellas. Let's get it in. Again, thank everybody who's joining us on X. We really appreciate you for taking time out your day and joining us here on the Come On In Sports Network. This is the Keeping It Real Who That Sports podcast.
Subscribe.
I'm your host, DOLPH Jackson, and I'm here, baby, in the building. And let's see. So Samuel says 32. That's all we got. That's all we got. I guess that's all we get, Mike. I guess. Well, congratulations to Hurricane Mike, because Mike was right. Number 1 Saint fan said 32. Mike was right. Last year in overall pressure rate rankings, Chase Young ranked 7.
I told you I knew that answer.
Overall, family. Yeah. Cowboy said he was actually pretty darn good for pressure. The team wanted more sacks than pressure. Exactly. Yeah. That's like we stated, Cowboy, like Atlanta Falcons pandemic. That's what he's going to have to work on in 2025. Finishing, getting there, creating that pressure. Going to have to work on finishing, and finishing comes down to having a counter move to your power and speed. We know you got that, but when that doesn't win every time, what do you go to? You can't be dead in the water if you don't win with power and speed. So I'm sure he's going to be working on that. And defensive line coach Davis that they brought in from LSU, he's worldly refined in the National Football League, college football, as one of the best D-line coaches in all of football, college or pro. So actually anxious to see what he does with this young New Orleans Saints front coming up this upcoming season. Derek D, you late, we got the answer. D said 21. It was 7. D, it was 7. Got you though, man. Listen, family, I want to thank y'all for joining me today, and my co-host today, my young brother Hurricane Mike is in the building, and today we touched on who? Chase Young, family. Chase Young. Chase Young was a good signing for the Saints last year. He was rewarded with a 3-year contract, $51 million guaranteed. Hey, the kid earned it. 1-year deal, still young, still with an upside, still with room to grow. Has the right attitude. Wanted to be here. What do we always say? We want players that what? Want to be here. He wanted to come back. He wanted to be in New Orleans. He had other opportunities. Don't get it confused. He had other opportunities, but he and his family, they fell in love with the city. He loved the organization, and he's staying right here in New Orleans. And I'm happy and I'm anxiously looking to see the development of this young man, because if he hits his full potential and becomes what everyone believes he is capable of becoming, the Saints struck gold. The Saints struck gold. So that's going to do it for today's show, family. Thank you all for joining me. Do us a favor, family. Hit that like button. If it's your first time, subscribe to the channel. And as we get ready to get out of here, let me just say this. He's not a rookie anymore. Early on, you heard Hurricane Mike say this man was rookie of the year. He's not a rookie anymore. In 2025, Chase Young has to become a closer for the New Orleans Saints in the backfield and in big moments. That's what the Saints are going to need from Chase Young. Now, what are your final thoughts, family? Right now in the chat, do you think this season Chase Young improves on his 5.5 sacks and tackles for a loss from last season? If yes, put yes in the chat. If no, put no in the chat. And also, the final question I got for you tonight is this. Is Chase Young the next Saints defensive cornerstone? So that's two questions. One, will he improve his sack and tackles for a loss total this year? Two, is Chase Young the next Saints defensive cornerstone? The talent is there. The stage is set. Now it's the time for Chase Young to put the NFL on notice. It's the Black and Gold, baby. This is Keeping It Real Who That Sports Podcast. I'm your host, DOLPH Jackson, and we're presented by the Come On In Sports Network. All right, what we got in the chat, baby? What we got in the chat, Mike? What we got in the chat? Hurricane Mike says, first, no, two, yes. Okay. Derek L says, I think he will improve. How much? How much? I don't know. Okay. Let's see. Who else? So Hurricane Mike and Derek L. Come on, family. Let me get your vote in there. Appreciate you, Atlanta Falcons pandemic. We appreciate it. Like you say, hit those like buttons, guys. We're in for a content ride this season, baby. Y'all already know. And listen, I got to remind everybody, it is back, baby. It is back. First week of the season, baby. As the NFL turns, it's back, baby. The #1 pregame show on all the social media. I'm talking about Coach Rock. He'll be back. I believe that. I know that. He'll be back. Jay Hits, Zach, Nonfiction, Lawrence, Jeremy, Cowboy, yours truly, DOLPH Jackson. And we're going to have this young brother here on with us a couple of times, too, as the NFL turns. Hurricane Mike and his little me right here, Mr. M himself. Michael, say who that to everybody.
Who that?
That's right. Who that, baby? That's right. So with that being said, man, listen. Okay. All right. Listen, Kyle. Y'all. That's it. Hey, they've been nice, Cowboy. You about to start them, and I'm coming for all the smoke too. Listen,
man, who do you think I am? Who do you think I am, cuz?
Me and my brother Cowboy, man, we definitely gonna do the week of the Falcons Saints games this season. We gonna do a germ stream during that week, and also we gonna do the game together too, man. And we gonna have both fan bases in the building. We gonna have a good time. It's so a great love-hate.
So you're gonna stream the games that the Saints whoop that booty.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
Man, they're gonna destroy them ATL folks. I don't care where it's at. I don't care where it's at.
Yeah. Pretty much. Today has been about Chase Young. My guy's in the building. The Nola Chop Podcast, kind of great. Kai, how you doing? Come on in.
Come on, man.
Brother Dolph, I'm at the door. Let me in, player. You already know, baby. Come on in. What's going on, Kai? Happy Father's Day to you, my brother. I hear you, Hurricane Mike. It's gonna be a great year. It's gonna be a great year. And Mike, listen, reach out to Atlanta Falcons Pandemic, man. You love to be a guest on your show, man. Great guy over there, man. Great work you do over there. I can't hear you.
That's actually good because I was actually working on a new show where I have people come in from different, like I have people come in, just for like interviews and stuff.
Hey,
that's actually interesting. I was actually thinking about that the other day.
Yeah, so just reach out to me and I'll reach out to him, man. I'm sure he wouldn't mind, man. All right. So with that being said, family, we about to get ready to get on out of here. It's been a great show. Thank you all for joining us. Again, to all my dads out there, man. Happy Father's Day, brothers. Enjoy your day. And on behalf of myself and my little me and Hurricane Mike, y'all already know. Like always, family. Love and what, Michael?
Who that?
Who that?